morning grade 7 students. My name is Ma'am Ahlyssa, and for today's video, I am going to guide you about your new topic in Mathematics 7. But before we start, here are some reminders for you. 1. Please stay in a quiet place where no one disturbs you. 2. Do not eat while watching this video. 3. Please bring your notebooks and ballpen so you can take down notes. 4. If you are watching this video in group, please observe social distancing and avoid talking to each other. And last, 5. Participate with me by simply answering the questions and doing the tasks at the comfort of your place. Last time, you have completed another quarter in this journey of yours in the world of mathematics. So as we continue our lesson, please try to answer this first on your answer sheet. Are you ready? Okay. Number 1. Which of the following may represent a line? A. Wall. B. Door. C. Location of ordinatum on the map. D. Edge of a rectangular table. What is your answer, class? Okay, that is correct. Edge of a rectangular table. Number 2. Lines M and R have exactly one common point. This means that M and R are surely blank lines. A. Contradicting. B. Intersecting. C. Collinear. Or D. Commonly point. What is your answer, class? That's right. It's intersecting. Okay, so for the next number or item, you're going to refer to the figure below. Okay, so the question is, how many distinct segments can you name from the figure? A. 3. B. 2. C. 1. Or D. 0. How many did you get? Let us see if your answer is correct. Okay, that is correct. It's 3. So what are the distinct segments that you have figured out? Okay, segment OR, segment RH, and segment OH. That is why our answer is 3. For the next item, we have an angle which measures greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees is called blank. A. Acute. B. Obtuse. C. Right. Or D. None of the choices. What is your answer? Let us check. Wow, you are amazing, class. It's obtuse angle. How about this next item? Refer to the figure below. What can you see? Right, there are different arrows pointing in different directions. So the question is, which of the following is an acute angle? Is it A. Angle CDE? Or B. Angle ADE? Or is it C. Angle FDE? Or D. Angle BDE? Did you get it right? Let us check. Right. It's letter D. Angle BDE. Okay, who got 5? How about 4? 3? 2? Okay, so I think most of you are now ready to move forward with this topic. Welcome to the introduction to geometry. What is geometry? Geometry is a branch of mathematics that deals with measurement, properties, relationships of points, lines, angles, surfaces, and solids. In your previous grade, I know you have already encountered some of the terms related to geometry, like the different polygons, right? So in this lesson, you are going to represent point, line, plane using concrete and pictorial models. And 2, identify the figures presented, whether it's a point, a line, or a plane. Read and understand. So as we move on with the discussion, let us try to read and understand the given figure and statements. What can you see from the figure? Yes, there are 2 rectangles. What else? Lines? What else? Okay, there are also points and letters. So what do they represent? Let us read the statements. Number 1. Figure P and Q are planes. Number 2. The dots presented in the figure name points that represent different locations on the planes. Number 3. The figure containing points A, B, and C is a line that can be named as line AB, line AC, line BC, line BA, line CB, or line CA. Number 4. Points A, B, and C are collinear points. Number 5. Points A and D are non-collinear points. Number 6. Points E and D are non-coplanar points. And last, points A, B, C, and D are coplanar points. So what have you noticed in this activity? Okay, we are dealing with rectangles with lines. How are the terms related to the picture shown to you? Okay, they are defining the figure being presented. Now, what do you think is our lesson for today? Okay. Undefined terms in geometry. So to understand more about these terms, let us explore geometry together. Are you ready, class? Early mathematicians were frustrated with trying to define a point, line, and plane. To define a point, line, and plane, you must use words or phrases. However, those also need definition or further explanation. So, to understand their meaning, let us study their descriptions. Let us start with point. What is a point? Can you draw a point or can you make a dot on your notebook? Okay. Now, what can you see? How are you going to describe that dot? or that point? Is there a length? No. How about width? No. How about thickness? That's right. Therefore, point has no length, width, or thickness. It occupies no space. So we represent point by a dot, just like what you did on your notebook. Just like this. And we name this point using a capital letter, just like this example. So we read this as point P. Next we have line. What is line? Can you draw a line on your notebook again? Okay, so what can you see? Straight. How about its width? Does it have width? Does it have length? Yes. How about thickness? Okay, so line is or has infinite length but no width or thickness. It is straight, just like what you said a while ago. So when we say infinite, there is no limitation. Okay? You can draw as long as you want. So we represent line by using a straight mark with two arrowheads. So if you draw a line there on your notebook without arrowheads, please correct it now. Put that arrowheads on both ends of that line. Okay? So just like, for example, this figure. Okay? So just like point, we also name our line. How do we do that? We name it with two capital letters with double arrowhead above them or a lowercase letter. Just like, for example, this one. Okay? So we have there a line, points A and point B, and a lowercase letter L. So we read this as line AB, line BA, and line L. Next, we have plane. Have you seen plane already? How about a door? Can you identify door as a plane? Could be. How about your walls? Can you identify it as a plane? Okay, let us check what is a plane. So when we say plane, it has infinite length and width, but no thickness. It is a flat surface. Okay, let's go back to the door and to the wall. Do they have flat surfaces? Okay, so therefore, we can consider them as an example of a plane. Because when we say plane, it is represented by a slanted four-sided figure. For example, this one. And of course, we also name them by using a single capital script letter or three non-collinear points. Take a look at this example. So we have the plane and we have three dots there, namely points A, B, and C. And we have this capital script letter M. So how do we read them? We may read them as plane M, plane ABC or plane ACB, plane CBA or plane BCA, or plane BAC or plane CAB. So we have definition. Definition is what we give to those terms that we cannot understand earlier, just like for example point, line, and plane. Because when we say definition is a statement that clarifies or explains the meaning of a word or a phrase. For example, these two words, space and figure. Can you identify them? Maybe not, because they do not have a given definition. But if we give them these definitions, we can understand these terms now. For example, space is the set of all points, while figure is the set of any set of points. So here are other concepts about points, lines, and planes. First, we have collinear points. So earlier, we have encountered already collinear points. So what is a collinear point or points? Yes, they are points that lie on the same line. Just like for example this one. Are points A, B, and C lie on the same line? Yes. Therefore, A, B, and C are collinear points. Next, we have non-collinear points. So what are non-collinear points? Okay, the opposite of collinear points. So they are points that do not lie on the same line. Take a look at this example. Which of these points does not lie on the same line? Right, it's D, point D. Therefore, A, B, and D are non-collinear points. Okay, our next term is coplanar points. So what are coplanar points? When we say coplanar points, they are points that lie on the same plane. Take a look at this example. Are the points lie on the same plane? Yes. Points A, B, C, and D are coplanar points because they lie on the same plane. How about non-coplanar points? Okay. They are points that do not lie on the same plane, or the opposite of coplanar points, right? So how can you draw them? Look at this example. Can you identify the points in the figure? Yes, points B, A, C, and E. But the question is, are the points lying on the same plane? Points A, B, and C, yes, they lie on the same plane, but not E. Therefore, A, B, C, and E are non-coplanar points. Let us try some examples in identifying these elements. Let us have this example. Using the figure shown, you are going to do the following tasks. First, you're going to name all planes in the figure. B, you're going to answer the question, are points P Q, and V collinear? C. You are going to name other collinear points that you can find in the figure. And D. Are points P, Q, R, and T coplanar? Okay, let us answer this activity all together. You may get your notebooks or paper and ball pen, and let us try to answer this following tasks. Are you ready? Okay, let us start. Let us have first the first task, which is to name all planes in the figure. So, in the figure, how many planes can you see? Can you name one plane? How many planes can you see? Okay, let us try. Okay, if you've seen a plane, can you give me at least one name from the figure? Yes? Okay, how about that one? Yes, PUQ. So that is one plane. Are there any more other planes that you can see from the figure? Alright, yes. We also have QUR. Are there any more other planes that we can name from the figure? Yes, that's also correct. We also have RUS, right? Okay, there is also this plane SUP. Did you get it? Okay, so there's one more left. Who can name it? Okay, yes. So what is the name? Yes, that's the plane B. Okay, so did you get it all? Let me just repeat the answers. So we have 5 planes. The plane QRU, plane PSU, plane RSU, plane PQU, and plane B, wherein plane B or beta can also be named using any 3 of the 4 points P, Q, R, and S. Okay? So that's it for the task number or letter A. Now let us proceed with task B, which is a question: are points P, Q, and V collinear? So again, what is a collinear, or what is a collinear point? Yes, they are points that lie on the same line. So in the figure, where is P, Q, and V? Okay, there they are. So do they lie on the same line? See. Yes, they are in the same line. So, our answer is yes, because points P, Q, and V lie on line PV. Okay? So, next one, we have name other collinear points. So, P, Q, and V are collinear points because they lie on the same line. Now, what other points do lie on the same line? Can you see any points or points that lies on the same line? Okay, so we have there the points P, T, and U. Okay, so points P, T, and U are collinear points. Now we're down to the last task, which is, are points P, Q, R, and T coplanar? So let us again refer to the figure. Where is P, Q, R, and T located? Okay, there they are. So
Are they lying on the same plane? Let us check if your answer is correct. So points P, Q, and R lie on plane B or beta, but point T does not. Hence, the 4 points are not coplanar. So that is the answer for task number 4. Did you get it right?
With the next example. In this example, you are going to draw and label a figure for each condition. So we have here 4 conditions and you are going to draw this on your notebook. Are you ready? Okay, so let us have letter A. Point E lies on line CD. So how are you going to draw this? First, draw a line. Label the line with points C and D. Yes, the points C and D must lie on the same line. Then, point E must also be placed inside the line. Did you get it? Okay, so let us move on with letter B. So letter B, line T contains A and B but does not contain C. How do we draw this one? Okay, here are the instructions. So first, you're going to draw a line. Then at the end of the line, in one side of the arrowhead, put there small letter T. Then label the line with points A and point B, just like the first task. Then put point C outside the line. Are you done? Okay, so if you got it, let's move on with letter C. In letter C, planes A and B intersect in line L. Okay, so earlier I have shown you the samples of planes. Now you are going to draw 2 planes that intersect. And after you have drawn the 2 planes intersecting with each other, so in their intersection, you're going to label that with small letter L. Did you get it? Did you get it? Okay. Let's move on with letter D. Lines M, N, and P are coplanar but do not intersect. So in this task, do you think we're going to make lines that intersecting? Of course not, because in the condition, it is said that it does not intersect. Therefore, the first step that you're going to do is to draw a plane, since these lines are coplanar. Draw a plane, then inside the plane, you are going to draw 3 parallel lines, meaning these lines do not intersect with each other. Then after you have drawn these 3 lines, label them, each one of them with small letters M, N, and P respectively. Are you done? Okay, try to check your answers or your drawings.
Okay, so now let us check if you have followed my instructions correctly. So this is letter A. Did you get it right? Okay, very good. How about letter B? Okay, you're getting better. How about C? Did you get it? Okay, don't forget the labels, okay? Letter D. Okay, there you go. So if you have followed my instructions very well, I guess you are ready to do this on your own. So for our next activity, I will be giving you another exercise, the same exercise, but this time you are going to answer this one all by yourself, okay? So again, please prepare another sheet of paper and let's have this practice time. Okay, so for the first exercise, you are going to do the same procedure. Use the figure shown to answer the questions below. So for the first task, you are going to name all planes in the figure. Okay, so letter B, answer the question, are points B, E, and F coplanar? And for the last task for this exercise, name the collinear points. So the same procedure just like what we did on our first practice activity. Okay? So for the next exercise, so again, you are going to draw and label a figure for each condition. So this time you have only 3 particular conditions, but these conditions are similar to the first activity you have earlier. So for the first task, our condition, line L contains A, B, and C, but not D. Okay? So letter B, 3 planes intersecting in line L. And C, 3 non-intersecting lines. Okay, if you're ready, you may answer this now on your answer sheets or on your notebook. Okay, I guess you're all done. So let us check. Please exchange your notebooks if you have your classmate with you. Okay, so for practice 1, so we use the figure shown to answer each question. For A, name all planes in the figure. So what are the planes that we can identify from the figure? Can you name all the planes? So there are 7 planes. We have the plane ABC. We also have plane ABF, plane AFH, plane AHHE. We also have plane AED, plane ADC, and lastly, the plane M. Or you can also name it using the 3 of the 6 points, B, C, D, E, H, and F. Okay, if you got it all correct, so let us proceed with task B. So you're going to answer the question, are points B, E, and F coplanar? So again, when we say coplanar, they are points that lie on the same plane. So in the figure, are points B, E, and F lying on the same plane? Okay, so the answer is yes, because points B, E, and F, yes, they lie on plane M. So last, name the collinear points. Again, what is the collinear point, or what is a collinear point or points? Yes, points that lie on the same line. Okay, so in the figure, where are those points that lie on the same line? Okay, that's it. Points C, D, G. So they are the collinear points that we are looking for. Now let us move on with the next exercise, which is to draw and label the figure for each condition. So for letter A, line L contains A, B, and C but not D. B, 3 planes intersecting in line L, and C, 3 non-intersecting lines. Okay, so did you get it right? Let us check if you have drawn the figures correctly. So for letter A, we have this figure. Did you get it, class? Okay, very good. How about letter B? Yeah, so it's just the same with the figure earlier in our previous exercise. You just have to add another plane, and don't forget to label each plane and the intersecting line between those 3 planes. Okay, so for letter C, we have this figure. Yes, 3 parallel lines, and of course you have to label them with small letters, any small letters that you like. Okay, so that's it for this exercise. So okay, so if you have checked already the paper that you are checking, please count the number of corrects, and after this, let's wrap up all of the new learnings that you have for this day. Okay, let us go back to those undefined terms in geometry that you have encountered for today. So let us start with point. So again, when we say point, it is represented by a dot. It is named with a capital letter, and it has no length, width, or thickness. So it does not occupy space. Next, we have line. So it is represented by a straight mark with 2 arrowheads. It is named with 2 capital letters with a double arrowhead above them, or a lowercase letter. So it has infinite length but no width and thickness compared to point. Okay? So the next one is, of course, plane. So it is represented by a slanted 4-sided figure. It is named with a capital or single capital letter script, or 3 non-collinear points. So it has infinite length and width but no thickness. So in short, it is a flat surface. Okay? So that's our first 3 terms that we defined. So next, we have this other concepts related to this topic, which are, first term is the collinear points. So these are points that lie on the same line. Next, we have the non-collinear points. So this is the opposite of collinear points. So these are points that do not lie on the same line. And the next one is the coplanar points. So these are points that lie on the same plane. Okay, plane. And the non-coplanar points, points that do not lie on the same plane. So those are our undefined terms in geometry that we have defined for today's video. So I think you're ready to assess yourself now after we have discussed all of those new terms and how to identify them, okay, through those activities. So please prepare another sheet of paper to do this final activity for this day. Okay? If you're ready, let us start. For letter A, you're going to determine the geometric figure suggested by each of the following. So you are just going to answer whether it's a point, a line, or a plane. So for number 1, a portion of telephone wire. Number 2, a tabletop. Number 3, a laser. Okay? If you have answered all those 3 items, let us move on with this second task, which is to draw a related picture for each of the following. Okay? So, we have 4 items here. The first one, you are going to draw a line containing C, A, and R, and then give all possible names of the line. For number 2, a plane M containing points B, U, and S, and then give another name for the plane M. For number 3, draw a point Q on DR but not on RC. And for number 4, 2 lines that intersect. If you're done, let us have this one. So read carefully and write your answer on your answer sheet. So number 1, you have searched Urdaneta City on Google Maps. The indicator which shows you the location of Urdaneta City on the map is a representation of the undefined term in geometry called a blank. A, point, B, line, C, plane, or D, ray. Number 2, how many distinct planes can you identify from a cube? A, 3, B, 4, C, 5, or D, 6? Okay, for the final item, it is an undefined term in geometry that has length but no width and thickness. It is called a blank. A, point, B, line, C, plane, or D, segment.
Okay, so if you are done with your answers, you may submit that to your subject teachers so they can check your work. That's it for today's video class. So once again, this is Ma'am Ahlyssa, your mathematics teacher. See you! Bye!